Hi and welcome back to my channel, Julep's Garden. We are in the middle of July. It is super hot and humid. This week's going up to high 90s. So I thought I would go ahead and do a little tour. We can kind of see how everything's growing and see the progress we've made this year. This is one of my favorite views. I love to come out here and sit and drink my coffee and look at this garden bed. It is at the fullest point that it has been this year. Everything's growing out and I'm just in love with the look of everything. I got this little watering can at Walmart and I think it looks so cute. I love to have it here for containers I need to water. I have quick access and I think it looks really cute on the steps. These are my double impatiens. They are so pretty. They're hanging in with all the heat. They probably get about a good hour of direct sun here, so I try to make sure they're nice and watered. Here we have my $13 Walmart container. Well, the planter was $13. And these begonias never have flowered for me, but I think that even the foliage is really pretty, and I kind of like the simple green look with the cement faux planter. If you guys have seen my other videos, you know I love good Walmart finds, and these pillows are some that I found at Walmart and I love them. They have these little tassels. I think they were about $15 each, but they are a decent size. So the ones I used to have before, they were kind of too small since I have the chairs they need a little cushion, and I love these pillows. I'm so happy with them. And only for $15 each at Walmart. With the super hot temperatures we've been having, I have had to be filling up my fountain almost every day. If you guys have any tips for keeping algae out of the fountain, I do use a product I got from Amazon about once a week, but right now with all the heat, it's still, not crystal clear. If you guys have a way you keep yours crystal clear, please let me know. That I do love to have it nice and full because I see all the birds coming and the squirrels, especially with this heat we've been having. And the black-eyed Susans are just in their prime and filling up this entire space so beautifully. They're such happy little flowers, and they do attract a lot of pollinators, and the birds start to come. Also, like the little yellow birds, I'm not sure what they're called, but they love the seeds on them. And these are my sun patients. I have loved them. They've been so easy. They don't even require fertilizer. Just keep them watered and they are gorgeous. And these are my begonias I planted, and as you can see, I was desperately trying to get my irrigation set up out here, but it's been so hot. I've kind of got most of it done, but I haven't buried this section yet. I have another sun patient container over here, and I dotted all these little begonias along the edge. I think that I needed to have given them more fertilizer because they stayed on the smaller size and they are on drip. This is my Dusty Miller that was supposed to be an annual, and it's going on 4 years now. I just trimmed it back in the spring and it grew so beautifully. And then here I have a double wing begonias, and they've done really well, and I actually haven't fertilized them much, but they've been very low maintenance. If you guys follow me on Instagram, I was just telling you guys I planted 10 sunflowers. These were dwarf variety. All of them got their little heads chopped off by the little bunnies. This one was the only one that made it, so I'm happy I at least got to see a flower. But I'm trying to just take it all in and really enjoy when my garden bed looks this full with all the black-eyed Susans, because it's not all year. So I love this feeling of the cottage garden type of garden. These were some stepping stones I put through this bed, but I think I should probably place it going that way because you gotta get through the black-eyed Susans. Over in this corner, my coneflowers are starting to kind of fizzle out, but they're still so pretty, and I love the pop of color they add here. And this is a evening rose hibiscus I got on clearance from Lowe's. If you guys watched that video, it was only about $15, and everybody that I talked to or that messages me, they absolutely love theirs. So I got one. I know that this spot is going to be small for it, so I'm probably going to be taking that to my parents' house. This is my butterfly bush. I've gotten so many great tips on Instagram from you guys, and I've been trimming her back each time she blooms, and I have all these new blooms. I'm so excited they're coming, and thank you guys all so much for your good advice. So over here are my garden beds, and as you can see, the tomatoes on this side are fizzling out, and then over here I have a lot more vining tomatoes, and they have exploded with growth. This is one of my favorite views because you can kind of see all the black-eyed Susans through the trellis. Yesterday my husband was out here with me, and he got his ladder out, and I was able to keep tying up all the vines. But you can see there's just tons of tomatoes. And then here we have our jalapeno, and this one's doing really well. I'm really happy about my peppers this year. They're growing really nice, and I have here, this is an Eskimo marigold, basil, this is a serrano pepper, and then over here I put some more seeds. So I think I put arugula there. I think this is some Swiss chard, and I'm just gonna see if it grows. Oh, and I did sprinkle in some cucumbers also, and those are taking off so quickly. In this bed I have, this is a cowhorn pepper, and then I have an Anaheim, and it seems like the slugs are finding this one and doing some damage, but it's coming along. Here you can see more of the peppers on this one. This is the Fresno Anaheim pepper, I think. We have a parsley, more basil. Let me know what the temperature is in your area, and how is your garden handling the heat. It seems to me everything is just kind of stalled a little bit. You know, it's trying to stay alive, and I'm happy as long as everything's watered, and I can't wait till the heat cools off just a little bit to see things thrive again. And these are all my dahlias. They're all hanging in there. I'm very excited to see a bud. I can't quite tell if that might be one, but I do plan on putting those little organza bags on them because I really want dahlias and I don't want the bugs to eat them. I don't know if you guys remember when I planted this pineapple sage, but you know, it's just a little container, like an earth container, and it is doing wonderful. It's been a very easy plant too. Also, if you guys use pineapple sage, let me know what recipes you guys use it for. I've heard it's good for cocktails, so share your ideas with me. And then we come around the back side of the yard, and this is what I like to refer to as my secret garden. It's a very shaded, it's surrounded by trees, and it really is so peaceful back here. Okay, so I want to show you guys, I'm so excited. Earlier this year, a friend gave me some Shasta daisies. I'm very limited with areas that get full sun. So I put them somewhere that gets about maybe 4 hours of sun, and I was really hoping they would do good here. If not, I was gonna move them, and look what I'm seeing. We have a little flower bud coming. I'm so happy. So I have about 3 here. The others are a little bit behind, but it gives me hope. I have them here in this corner, and I'm still trying to decide what I want to put here. I want a shrub or something bigger to fill in this space, but it is like prime realty because I don't get a lot of sun back here, and this area gets about 4 hours, so I'm trying to choose wisely. And these are my Aldi $5 hanging baskets. I've been really happy with these. I feel like they look really solid and nice quality, and they have held up really well. I filled them with impatiens and a begonia. So this entire area was all tree debris, leaves, and pine needles when we moved in. I had tried grass a few times, failed each time. Then I brought moss from my parents' house because it was so shaded, and since I do like the theme of a secret garden, I thought, oh, let me just fill it with moss. But of course it's not just moss, and I'm kind of debating if I want to try and grow more grass in here or just let the moss take over. I do find that it's a very whimsical kind of feeling with the moss. And I did set up this little sitting area over here, and I think it adds a lot of charm to the area. And it's got some caladiums. They're thriving. I did have a petunia in here, but it didn't do well even when I had it in the sun, so I kind of just let the caladium thrive. Over on this section, I put some petunias. These are supertunias. I think the colors are Snowdrift and Honey. The Snowdrift has done way better. I had only ever tried Jazzberry back here, and I'm not a big fan of Honey because it's very leggy. Granted, this area only gets about 4 hours of sun, if that. But the Snowdrift has done at least a little bit better, and I have trimmed them back. I have fertilized them. So I'm not sure if I'll do petunias again. In here I put some sun patience late this year, and so they're kind of trying to take off, but you know, it's been very hot. They're doing good. And my Annabelle hydrangeas back here have turned into the pretty lime green color. I have been super happy with the way that these handled the rain. We've gotten some really strong storms, and they have stood their ground, and they're doing super good. Keeps putting out new growth. I'm gonna try and trim them back. I did read that if you trim them back, you sometimes can get a second flush. And I do have those on irrigation this year, and I'm forever fighting with, this is Virginia Creeper. And the beautiful hostas. This is a blue hosta. It's one of my favorites. I have a little section over here, a shade section beside my hammock, and I have the guacamole hosta. This one was given to me by a friend, and I love the way this area looks. This is, I think, what kind of fern is this? Oh, the name is, I can't think of it. But I got one little leaf. It looked like it just had one little leaf off of Facebook Marketplace. This year it has exploded, and I love the way it looks in the container. I find that with all my tree debris, the ferns can look a little messy, so I like to put them in containers. This is a new bed that I created, I want to say last year. I do want to extend it out, but I put little impatiens in here for this year along with my hostas and heuchera, and it's just a nice little bright pop of color, and it makes me so happy. And this area is where I have my hydrangeas, and they're kind of fizzling out at this point. I do have more plans of extending this bed further in, maybe this one, and I think I'm gonna put an arbor and maybe some plants on horizontally to kind of make a blocked off entrance, and to make it feel more like a secret garden so that you can't just see in here from the other side. This is what the blue hydrangeas look like once they're drying. They're still so pretty. So I do have my furniture covered just because we're getting so many thunderstorms, but the flowers are exploding up here. I love them. You can see there, this is my panicle hydrangea. This one here is one silverberry petunia. And I have given them trims. They just keep growing and growing. And then over here, this is the panicle hydrangea. I got this one off of Facebook. I want to say $5 or something. And this is the first year I see them bloom. I had it over where the other hydrangeas were, but they weren't getting enough sun. So I'm very excited to see blooms. They are a little floppy, but I think I have to just work with trimming them this year so that the growth is more upright. And this is, of course, the beloved bubble gum. Never disappoints. If you guys remember, I planted this little garden box full of mints, and I have strawberry mint, chocolate chip mint, orange mint, and pineapple mint, and it is thriving. And we have the exact same thing on this side, and this one did bloom, but this one gave me smaller blooms. But I think I just didn't trim them the way they were supposed to be trimmed, and that's why the growth is so floppy. For next year I will get on that. If you guys remember, but I did a whole container out of Home Depot plants, and I did double impatiens and petunias, and it's done really well. I think I need to come in and trim more of it, but I'm kind of waiting just a little bit for the heat to come down, and then I will refresh everything. Earlier this year I took a bunch of cuttings just for fun from my panicle hydrangeas, just to see if they would stick. This is 100% pure compost. I didn't even have potting soil. I think there's 9 cuttings. All 9 have rooted, and look, you can see all this new growth. I need to hurry up and transfer them so they can each have their own little pot. But I was surprised how easy it was. So I definitely want to take cuttings from my Annabelle hydrangea so I can add more around the garden. And I'm not sure if you guys remember, but I got this one on clearance, and I trimmed her up. I cleaned her up really well. It's a pop star hydrangea. I got it for half that, and she has flushed back out. Look at her, she's blooming. Look at this, so pretty. So she's doing really well. I decided to keep her up here in the container where I could take better care of her, and I'll probably plant her out either this fall or early next spring. And here is the other container I got from Walmart. This one was $10, and I put a fern, and it has caladiums. It's so pretty. Okay guys, that is it for today. Thank you so much for joining me on my journey developing my garden, and for your support on my channel. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a beautiful day and enjoy your summer, and make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.